Yo, what's up? What's good, man? It's the boy, the one, the only. But what do I know? Boxing back at you with another one. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to the videos, man. That definitely helps, man. You know, it just helps the channel out. But fresh off of David Benavidez versus David Lemieux, and my question now, because it's just like life, boxing is no different. It's not about what happens; it's about what happens next. So, what happens next for David Benavidez after he just knocked out David Lemieux? So it says Benavidez will return in November. I kind of figured it'll be around that time. He'll fight either Charlo, Caleb Plant, or David Morrell, according to Samsung Boxing. All three great choices. I'm definitely pleased with that. I definitely feel like him versus Caleb Plant has always, that's just been a very big backstory between the two. Him and Charlo have recently created a little story between the two, so I definitely feel like him and Charlo, it's gonna be some. It's definitely gonna be some. It's gonna be some controversy going into the build up, man. You can rest assured believe that, man. It'll definitely be an entertaining build up. Him and Caleb Plant would too. But I think the Charlos are a little bit more on edge than Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant is still more so. He don't get it twisted. Caleb Plant ain't no joke, but Caleb Plant, he's not as snappy as the Charlos would be. So but I still, again, both fighters have history, with each other. Caleb Plant and David Benavidez. This is definitely a built-in beef that they don't really like each other. So I definitely would love to see that, man. David Morrell has just recently started calling out David Benavidez. David Morrell's up and coming. Cuba, he has to get past Calvin Henderson, man. It's just crazy how they're really looking over Calvin Henderson, man. That's a close friend of mine. I hope Calvin Henderson makes a statement. But I'm very pleased with this, man, because like I stated in the video before, we're overdue for a big matchup in the super middleweight division, not named Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez, to my belief, is going to possibly fight. I think he's going to fight Triple G. I don't see him and Bivol coming into agreement on terms and negotiations to keep that rematch going. I think that Canelo is going to probably come back down and fight Triple G, because I just feel like they're gonna try to make it a catch weight. I hope Bivol don't agree with that, or I just think it's gonna be negotiable to hold that up. So we're overdue for a big fight, man, without Canelo's name being brought into the mix. And David Benavidez is definitely looking for that. And the reason why I feel like, just like I was saying in the other video, that basically Canelo, because Caleb Plant is supposedly scheduled to fight, not scheduled, but it's rumored that he's gonna fight Anthony Durrell. So with that being said, should he get past Anthony Durrell, there would be no excuses at this point for Caleb Plant and David Benavidez not to face each other. There's no excuses at that point. That fight has to happen. Charlo, I feel like it's a little bit more excuses built in there that could prevent that fight if Charlo chooses this campaign at 160. If Charlo decides to move up to 168, then we definitely have a matchup we can talk about. But I just feel like the Caleb Plant fight is just more available to David Benavidez because Caleb Plant is already at 168. Caleb Plant has a fight coming up this summer, supposedly. And it should Caleb Plant get past Anthony Durrell, it just would make perfect sense. It would make all the sense in the world to have Caleb Plant and David Benavidez. Is really at this point, there's no excuse because Canelo Alvarez will be fighting Triple G. David Benavidez has no problems whatsoever. And that's what I love about David Benavidez. He's not waiting for Canelo to pick him, so he's not going to be tiptoeing around with these fights. He's going to take the best options that he can get. And I love and I respect that about David Benavidez. So it would make perfect sense for David Benavidez to get the Caleb Plant fight without any obstacles because they got the same manager, they have the same advisor. It's really no excuse. That fight right there will be the easiest fight to be made. Caleb Plant versus, actually, I think David Morrell has the same manager as them as well. That Cuba, Luis the Cuba guy, Luis the Cuba. I think David Morrell has that same manager. I'm not 100% sure, but I know that Caleb Plant and I know Caleb Plant and David Benavidez both have that same manager, and they're both advised by Al Heyman. We're both with the PBC. That just seems like the easiest fight to be made, and I definitely feel like we're overdue for that fight. If that's the fight to me that would make some more sense. But again, I would love to see him in there with all of them. Jamal Charlo, should he move up to super middleweight and not take a tune-up fight? I just go for it, man. I love it. David Morrell has been adamant about that. Go for it. I love it. But again, I think Caleb Plant is the more realistic fight. I think that's the fight that's easiest to be made. The only question is, do both fighters want it? I guess we'll find out. Let me know who you want to see David Benavidez in the ring with next. Who do you see him facing? Like, comment, subscribe. But what do I know?